Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second video of today. The first video did absolutely amazing. I want to thank you guys so much for that. It literally got about 2,000 likes in the space of an hour and a half. And if things keep going like that, I just can't stop uploading for you guys because it's just crazy good motivation, and it's so great to see you guys enjoying this game mode. I never really realized how much you guys wanted to see it, but it's blatant. You guys are enjoying it, so I was like, let's do this. Let's get more episodes up. But my first target as me in charge of QPR was Gareth Barry. Now, I do know QPR have a pretty good midfield. You know, you got the likes of Graniero who can play that center defensive midfield role, and he's just transferred over from Real Madrid. But I did feel as though, you know, for around 3 million, Gareth Barry's a pretty good player. I understand, you know, his age is something I really had to look at there, and was I willing to pay that sort of money for a 31-year-old who is not, you can't really see him going on to improve. It's more the fact that he's likely just to be on the decline. But the next player I was really looking forward to was Marouane Fellaini. I was really hoping I could pick him up because he is a fantastic center midfielder. He's pretty young, so he's got room to improve. Actually, he's got a lot of room to improve. He's only 24 years old, but he was valued at £8 million, and that was my entire budget. So I was really hoping possibly to pick up a bargain, I suppose, but it was going to be really tough no matter what. So I did actually add a player on to that transfer, maybe just to swing things in my way, but I always knew it was going to be tough. And unfortunately, both of them come back to me saying not a chance. And, you know, they put a 3.6 million price tag on Gareth Barry, and I just wasn't willing to pay 3.6 for a 31-year-old who, like I said, the growth of the player wasn't something I was looking at. But the sort of places I'm looking to improve on, as you guys know, I'm still waiting to hear back about Matux. I did put in another offer on him, so he's going to be a striker that I'm looking forward to. If you guys didn't see some of his stats in the last episode, I highly recommend you go and do so, because, wow, he looks an animal, and I can't wait to try him out in the games. He's going to be a lot of fun. I think he's got 90 plus pace, 90 plus strength, and 90 plus jumping, which is just out of this world. So yeah, like you guys can see, you know, I was just really messing around, see if I could do anything with it at all, but obviously I was 1 million short, so I couldn't offer that. And again, I do try it out. I try offering a different player. I just decided to offer one of my strikers, Mackie, because he really just didn't have a lot. You know, if I'm bringing in Matux, I'd already have Matux, Cisse, Zamora, Johnson. You know, that's 4 strikers. As you guys can see, Man City was interested in Schneider. It'll be interesting to see if they pull that particular transfer through. But there it is, Darren Matux. Again, I got rejected. Just transfers aren't going my way at the moment. And I decided to remove a player. I decided I'll offer 1.1 million, assuming you guys don't get a certain player. So I sent that offer away again. And I'm being a bit of a cheapskate. You know, I'm not going straight to what they're demanding for. I'm really trying to haggle and bargain, because I do feel as though I can certainly grab myself some I want to say deals, but I feel as though I can really negotiate things and really get it down to my sort of price. And Benzema's linked to Chelsea now. If Benzema goes to Chelsea, Chelsea are going to be a huge force. Again, Fellaini was declined, and I didn't even bother submitting another offer because there was just no chance. I didn't have the transfer budget to do it. And again, Whitecaps come back at me just telling me no, but I was determined to get Darren Matux. I really did want another striker to beefing up the squad, and I decided I'll offer 1.3 million, and that should be my final offer for him. And that email there was just letting me know about my international offers. I don't know whether I want to jump into international things. I think I might do, but it'll be interesting to see if I do get any offers from any of the international clubs. But there it is, Manchester City finally accept my bid for Gareth Barry, the 31-year-old, and obviously Hulse was involved in that deal, so he leaves the club. And now it came down to wages. You know, that he was asking for some pretty hefty wages, and you know, I definitely had to sort of adapt to it and really just question, was it worth that sort of 45,000? But then I suppose, you know, the QPR wage bill is already really quite big. And at last, Darren Matux, finally, Whitecaps accept the offer. My 1.3 million bid was enough. I bump up his salary just a little bit, and I made sure he knew he was going to be an important first team player, because my plans for him are to play alongside Cisse. Both of them have really good pace, and Gareth Barry accepts my offer, and so Gareth Barry is now a QPR player. So that's all really exciting. Like I said, you guys will see when I go to the team management here, he's going to fit into a nice center defensive midfield role. Like I said, right mid and left mid, I don't know whether I should go and purchase myself another right mid or left mid, because Wright Phillips and Hoylett, yes, they are both very quick, but they don't really have that sort of star status about them. You know, they're not that great yet. Bear in mind, a couple of, you know, you got Junior Hoylett there, who is definitely a young player who can come good for me. Easily, you know, very easily he could do well if I play him in the squad. But Wright Phillips is, I don't know, I'm not too sure what to think of him just yet. But with Gareth Barry coming in, it said Tarap's position in jeopardy, and that really didn't make sense to me at all, really. Gareth Barry was brought into the club to play more of a defensive midfield role, whereas Tarap was definitely a center attacking midfield striker. But again, we make our second signing with the club. We get Darren Mattox for 1.3 million, and he's on 6,000 a week, which for me was a huge bonus. For a 21-year-old, I understand he is only 67 rated, but I reckon if I play him often in the first team or even start him, as you guys can see, Farland's coming off here. Farland's another player who can definitely play that defensive midfield role. I've been questioning whether I should go for maybe a 4-2-3-1 formation and just have maybe Barry and Graniero as the defensive mids, and you know, play the likes of Tarap and Park as center attacking mid, and maybe have Cisse as a center forward and Mattox as a striker, or vice versa. So those are some things I'm keeping in mind. But with bringing players in, I also wanted to offload a few, and it wasn't immediately looking to sell players, it was more to loan them out, because what I like to do with the young players is definitely loan them out, get them some experience at some other clubs, so they come back a higher overall, and hopefully their values increase. So if I do decide I want to play them, then I can. If I want to, you know, increase my squad depth, I have those players who have improved. Or, you know, if I just feel as though their value is too much to give up on and they're just worth selling, then I can go ahead and do that. But I do go ahead and put a few of the younger guys in the squad up for a season-long loan, just because I didn't feel as though I needed them so much in my team. The squad depth is already pretty good. You know, it's a solid team. I wasn't, you know, I don't feel as though I'll have to come back to the junior players or the youth players and have to put them in the first team anytime soon. So that was why, you know, I took a look at the full squad just to make sure I didn't have to ever rely on these guys, so it was safe for me to put them on a season-long loan. But again, you know, that was just very much the case with all the players. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you would love to leave a like, you know, it's just going crazy at the moment. I hope you guys are enjoying these career mode videos. I'm certainly enjoying making them for you all. And like I said, if you could leave a comment just letting me know your thoughts on how I'm going on the career, who you'd like to see in, maybe some formation changes or just things like that in general, it would be much appreciated. On your screen right now is episode 1 and also my squad building episode on Ultimate Team. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.